Hello, this is Certified Hypnotist Chantel Cash, and today I would like to talk about house clearings. I just thought I'd focus on this beautiful wall hanging for a moment. So, this is the start of a series, and I would like to talk about house clearings today. And I have some items here, and most of the time you won't see me, so just for a moment you'll be able to see me, and I'm going to be focusing on my tools that I use for house clearings. So let's just get a good look right here. So we have a digital camera and a digital recorder. These are essential in house clearings. It's nice to get a little bit of evidence if you can beforehand, especially if you're there for a few days to do an investigation. We have some crystals. We have essential oils. We have sage, and not just any sage, white sage. And I'm going to have an example. We have a protection candle here. And I don't have any right now, but Palo Santo wood is another good one to use. And this is a natural smudge stick that I make, and there's many things in here: dock, herba santa, sage, peppermint. All of them are good for clearings. We have a singing bowl. We have a wand here. We have a holy water vial and my grandmother's rosary. We have some companion prayer books, Angels of God, and a Catholic prayer book, and some symbol cards. And this is something that is new and being used in house clearings now, a new method of energy signatures and work that is good for infusing wonderful, loving energies into a home. So, I would like to begin also. There's one item I did forget. This is a salt lamp. Very, very important item to have in your home. And I'm going to pull it back a little so we can see. This salt lamp should be put in places in the home where there's a lot of negative energy. If you have any vortexes or portals, you should put a salt lamp right next to it. One thing I would like to really discuss is protecting ourselves. And when we are in a position where we live in a home where there is a lot of negative energies, we do need to find various ways to protect ourselves. There are various kinds of spirits out there and various types of hauntings, and that will be touched on in a later episode. But right now, what I'm really talking about is the tools used. So one of my favorite things is tourmaline. This is black tourmaline. We have some other stones. I always forget the name of these, but these are good for replenishing your kidneys. They're also good for, you can get really small ones for children who have nightmares, and it helps keep nightmares at bay. This is, again, I go by the Book of Stones and Melody and some of the other good books that are out there, and some of my own experiences as well, and I can attest that these really work. We have a nice amethyst wand. Now, so stones are used in clearings, and we place them in various aspects of the home. So again, close-up of those. Now, when working with equipment, I use just a digital camera. It has a recorder on it. What I'm using now is a flip cam to record this, and a wonderful little magical device called a digital recorder. This detects subtle sounds, movements in the background. It's very, very sensitive. Excellent, excellent tool. Now, sage is extremely important. process of clearing homes. This is a handmade one. It can be hung, and I make these for house clearings as well. They can be hung up and put above maybe a hot spot in the home, but they can be burned to release the blessing as well. So now I'm gonna light the sage, and we're gonna sage this area, so someone, who is watching and has never done this could possibly know how to do this then by watching. Again, very important you have an ashtray or something to catch the embers if they should fall. And it's really good to get a nice embers going, and then kind of fan it. And you can use a feather or whatever you like. And the idea is to smudge the environment. So we're smudging the environment, we're ridding the area of toxins. And sage is one of those that many native spirits really appreciate. So if you live in an area where there is a lot of native people who died, maybe there was skirmishes broke out or some illness or something happened, they appreciate when you burn sage. And it also helps get rid of negative energies in and around your environment and on your person. So I don't know if you can see, but we begin like this, and we start at the bottom, and we're smudging. They call it smudging, and we're just pushing the sage all over, getting a nice arms. And it's hard to do it by yourself, so if you have someone to do it with you, by all means. You always go from the bottom up and then back down again. So this is burning sage, and I'm going to stick this in my little ashtray. So again, protection candle will burn while you're doing the house clearing. So when you go in, basically, you're going to assess the situation, of course, but you're going to begin by doing things like cleansing the area. So let's move on. I only have so many minutes, and I can download, and I'll do another episode if necessary. This is a singing bowl. Let's get it going. Namaste. The idea of using a singing bowl is when you go into the home, you will check the areas using the frequency and vibration and sound. So when you go into an area that's been haunted, more than likely it's going to sound very tinny and almost clanking sound. And it takes time to get a nice vibration and tone going. Beautiful. This is just one way. Another way is to you would go into the areas and the nooks and crannies of the home. It reminds me of when I was young in church bells on Sunday. We lived right next to a Catholic church, and the bells would go off, and that long sound after, you could still hear the resonation of the beautiful bell. And that's what the singing bowl is like. It's still going. So, holy water and a rosary. This was my grandmother's, and though I'm not practicing Catholicism anymore, I do use these tools, and I use them when I clear houses. They're full. This is usually full of holy water, and I usually have more if I know ahead of time it's going to be really tough haunting or some potential negative entity or demonic activity. I will break out the holy water. I always wear my grandmother's rosary, and I have my prayer companion books. There's the faithfully departed. So often if there's spirits who are Catholic in life, I will say those prayers for them. Often that's all it takes to release them. Another tool that is excellent and most necessary are dowsing rods. Pendulums are good, but dowsing rods, they will crisscross when you have spirits. It'll look like this, okay? And when at the end the house is clear, the rods should be still, and they should just be nice and settled. So these were just windshield wiper blades, and I made them into a nice set of dowsing rods, and they truly do work very well. You can use a pendulum if you like, but I recommend rods. They seem to be a little bit more accurate, and some people don't need any tools at all. If you do not need any tools at all, that is okay. Now, one thing I want to discuss before I close, and I will be doing more detailed work. This is just an overview right now for people who are in need of information immediately. White Angelica, Young Living Oils. There are holy oils that come in gold bottles, and this is called spikenard. Quite frankly, one of the top-notch oils for house clearings would be spikenard. Wearing white angelica is extremely important that you put that on your collarbone and neck. Palo Santo oil, again, I showed you the Palo Santo wood. That's just the example. This is Palo Santo oil, 10 times more powerful. And then there's other oils. We have gratitude. We have cypress, rose of Sharon, valor for courage. Much of these are needed. And these are considered holy oils, so any of the holy oils are crucial. Frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood. If you can afford them, get them and do a proper house clearing. You don't really need holy water, not necessarily, unless it's really, really a negative entity or spirit. So, and again, let's not forget our angelic presence. This is a book that I wrote on energy symbols. This is the color edition, and there's many symbols. This one's an extremely powerful one. Very, very powerful symbol. For my book, here's another one, harmony. Harmony. The idea is to tap these up around the hard spots in the home that are really negatively affected. And here's angel, the angelic symbol. Let's see. We have lots of them here, so I'm not going to go over them all. But here we go. Here's another one. We have various ones here for clearing homes and businesses. This one is for storm protection, brachial symbol. So you get the idea. Basically, a lot of clearings, and anytime we're doing a house clearing, it's really a lot of it is about intention and setting our intention to take back our space and to create boundaries with the spirit realm. It is very important that you create boundaries and you set, you have to let them know you're in charge and you're in control. And I do everything in a loving and compassionate way. This is really the heart of this, is having compassion, having love in our hearts for those who have passed before us. So again, protection candle, that can be burnt during the course of your the time that you're going to be doing a clearing. And if you've never done this before, I do not recommend you doing it alone. I recommend you getting a qualified professional. It could be a minister, a priest, a shaman, a medicine man or woman, a Reiki master. Again, Reiki is very powerful, and Reiki is another modality I'll be discussing in a future episode as well. And you'll get to see me doing Reiki. So for right now, I'm going to close, and you have a blessed and wonderful day. Namaste.